Welcome to the Inspired by InVideo show. Here you can learn about how to use InVideo, ask questions and show off your videos. Stephen Healy is a content creator and facilitator for BeLive TV. I'm John Upton and I'm a video creator and general marketer for an agency based in the UK called Think and Do. Looking at some of the issues in the group, people are struggling to make text seen above a complex picture. So I'm going to show you how you can make text stand out more. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the ways we can quickly make this stand out. And the first most obvious one is to add bold. Okay, so that brings it out there, but really what we need to do is to add something to give it a little more support. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to text shadow and we're going to turn text shadow on, and you can see that really makes it jump out of the page. Okay, so we can see that that's made it stand out more, but what else could we do? So if we go back to the text, we could put a fill colour in. Now, that, as you can see, goes everywhere. So what we want to do is make the background a bit smaller. So you can see there we've got a 45% black fill, and if we step it up to 50%, it really does help to make the text pop whilst still making the background visible. And of course, if you don't like black, you can try white. I don't like the white so much, so let's go back to black, and you can see then that that has again made it pop, but the picture can still be seen and still do its job of linking the text to something that in your mind. For this case, the text has actually got nothing to do with the background, but quite often that's why people put a picture behind their text, is to have a visual link as well as words. One last thing, if you're trying to keep to a corporate look or feel, then of course you can make the background match that, whether that's a blue, a red, or in this case an orange, a red, a green, whatever kind of colour you want, you can put the background to. So you can keep within a corporate theme if that's what you're using within your video. So we went from one difficult to read to one easy to read with just a few clicks in just a few minutes. So one last thing on this before we move on is about music. Quite a lot of the music tracks are fairly long, so for a very short video like this 5-second long one, they take some time to build up, and really they're not particularly successful. But if you look down here, further down, there's this thing called bumpers and stingers, and this is full of short tracks. Okay, so lots of 6 seconds, 1 minute, 7 seconds, and you don't find that many of these quite short 6, 11, gust of wind, which is the one we use. So if you're looking to create a fairly short video and you're looking for something that has impact from the off, such as for instance this one, or this one, then the place for you is bumpers and stingers. Okay, so I've got this really impactful image of swimming. It's this guy really giving his all in a lane in the swimming baths. I've got it from Unsplash. It's by a guy called Gentrit. He's got some fantastic photos. You can find this one just by typing swimming. So I don't want to just have it arrive as a single blob onto our video that we're going to create in InVideo. I want it to arrive in 15 pieces. So the first task is to split it up into those 15 pieces. Now there's loads of programs out there that allow you to split a photograph up, crop, all sorts of techniques. I'm going to use cropping because it's easy for people to understand, and I'm using Corel Draw, but it could be Photoshop, any product that allows you to bring in a photo and crop it or split it in various different ways. So doing it simply by doing 15 crops. There are faster ways, but this is simple to understand. So the first thing I've done is create a document that's 1920 by 1080. Now 5 into 1920 is 384, and 3, because I want 15 pieces, is 360. So I've put guides at 0, 384, 768, 1152, 1536 and 1920. So these are the guidelines here, and on the thing I've put at 0, 360, 720 and 1080. So what I'm going to do now is bring in my picture, and I will need to navigate to it. It's in InVideo and it's in a folder called 23rd of Sept. So we'll just get to the 23rd of Sept, and there's my 1980 by 1080 picture. So I'm going to import that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to view and I'm going to get it to snap to guidelines. So I'm going to get it to snap up there, and as you can see, it's there. So now I can crop it to get my different things. So I'm just going to do 3 crops for the purposes of this video. Well, I'll only show 3 crops in this training little thing, but I will do 15 crops in total. So the first crop I'm going to do is simply there, and I've got my top left hand corner. So now what I can do is I can export that. I don't want it as a PDF, I want it as a JPEG, and I'm going to hunt my way back to the folder for the 23rd of September, and we're going to save that as, I'm simply going to call it 1, and I'm going to work my way across the top, and I'm going to work my way to the bottom right hand corner. So there'll be 1 to 15. Hit export. Okay, now what I can do, of course, is I can undo it so that I can make my different crops each time. So I'm now going to crop the middle bit for you. So we'll crop here. The thing I love is the grabbing to the guidelines, and if I enter now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's number 8. So if I now hit export, it's remembered what I selected before, and I'm going to put in 8. Export. And okay, I'll do again, and then we're going to do the bottom one, which is number 15. I'll do the rest, but I won't include them in the video. I'm just doing this really to show you how I'm using a third-party package to divide up my picture. So I'm going to go to number 15, enter, and then I'm going to export it, and I'm going to call it 15. export. Okay, so that's breaking up the picture from its original into 15 segments. So now I've got my image divided up into my 15 parts, ready to start building my InVideo video. So now we're going to start with a blank 16:9 video, and what I'm going to do is bring in my 15 parts. So I'm going to go to folders and I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it Swimmer. So I'm going to create the folder. So having created my folder, I'm going to open my folder, and here you can see I can drag and drop, or I can upload media. So I'm going to select all of my media and hit open, and as you can see they're all being uploaded. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these bits and pieces here that we don't really need. And I don't really want to put the logo on this. Okay, so now we've got rid of those, let's just nip back to our folders. We're in Swimmer, so we want to put them in the right place at the right size. So to do this we're going to use the grid. So we're going to turn the grid on, and lo and behold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we know that our pictures need to be 3. So each picture is going to be 3 high. So let's bring in our first picture. I should have numbered these, I think 0, 1 through 1, 5. But we've got them as 1. So let's put them in. So the first thing I'm going to do is make it 3 high, and then I'm going to take it and put it in the top left hand corner. So that's 1. I'm going to put 1, 6 and 11 on, just to show that I've got my sizing correct. Now you can see it doesn't look quite snap right there. Okay, so we're now snap to the correct size. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in number 6. Now what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to align that left and to the above, and then I'm going to bring it over like this, and hey presto, that snaps to the right line. So now I want number 11. So I'm going to do a similar thing with this, but I'm actually going to make it a bit smaller first. So I'm going to go to there, did it the wrong way around, but it doesn't matter. If I now pull, you'll see it clips, and now I have a complete section of the picture. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to make you sit here while I do all of these. I will do the other 12. So now I've got my completed picture, and I've numbered them all 1 through 15. So if I click on 15, click on 9 and click on 1, I've got them all. So what I can do now is I can animate these. So now I can choose my animation by the type, or sorry, by the square that built it up. So then we can build an image coming in and on. Now I'm going to go to the advanced timeline for this, and you can see at present they're all set to there. I'm going to get rid of the music for now. We'll perhaps add something in a bit, but what I'm going to do first of all is just animate them, so as you can see that it's easy to animate them all. So click first, we're doing in, and what we're going to do is choose an animation. Now there's bloody millions of these. You could have them all the same. You could roll them in, groove them in, spin, disco station, blur and curl, fly them in for the right. Maybe let's do all four corners. So let's fly that one in from the left. Let's make the animation duration 1.5 seconds. We'll do 1.3. But we're not going to have an out animation at the moment, so we're going to leave that blank, and we're going to have in place as none. So let's go to the bottom left square, and let's go to animation, bottom left square, and we want to go to in. We're going to, let's go, where did we do? We had zooms, bounce, wipes, rotates, toss, bubbly, groovy, hanging by a string, smooth bouncer, top bouncer, drama, flight. So let's fly this one in from up or from down. Yep, so we're going to do this from up, and again we're going to make that 1.3 seconds, and just have a quick look at what we've done. Let's place the stick at the very beginning and do a quick play. Yep, so that's come in. Looks to be a slight alignment issue, but we can correct that in a minute. I don't correct them until after I've actually put it out, because quite often you see a tiny little gap here, but when you actually run it in the real world, the gap doesn't exist. But they're easy enough to move, because you can just select that one and you can move it by 1 pixel using the down arrow. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go to that one. So that's 11. Let's go to the in animation, and we had flight from up, and what we really wanted was flight from down for 1.3 seconds. So really you can stick whatever you want on here. You can make them all rotating, etc. Anything you want. I'm going to go here and animate this one. So this is 15, and we're going to animate it in. And I'm just going to have that one fade in, and again over 1.3 seconds, and then I'll do the top corner, and then what I'll do is I'll stop recording, I'll go and animate them all, and we'll just do a quick review of all of them animated. Okay, so that's there. Let's do that, and let's use wipe from up, 1.3 seconds, and let's go 15. We faded 15 in, so I've just done the four corners for now, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, and we clearly appear to have an issue here, and we've probably fixed that issue now. Now you're always going to get one or two out. Do the whole thing, make it work, and then just check the alignments afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording and export this. Okay, so I've animated all of them, and I think you'll see that there is actually a small correction that needs making on the bottom row of the video. Hope you find this useful. To get the best out of this, you need to experiment with the animations. It might look really good if they all rolled in from the left, or they all dropped from the top, or they all came from different sides. The animations I've done are just to give you an idea of what you can achieve. Okay, hope you enjoyed this. We look forward to seeing you again. Please don't hesitate to send your questions or your requests in the group of InVideo. Goodbye.